All right, well, it's been some time since I posted. I guess it's almost a month since I got back from California. And man, I'll tell you, it's been one heck of a month. So, going from 100 miles an hour training, like 12 weeks, biking, coming back in like pretty decent shape. First ride back, I'm like passing people up hills, blah, 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 like here. And I get back and it's like, oh man, the weather's not that good. It's like 8 degrees Celsius, 12 degrees Celsius. On a good day, it might get up to 16 degrees Celsius. And so it's like just lack motivation to get out there, but that's not the issue. Um, there's a couple of things that are really affecting things, and quite frankly, I recorded a lot of the training and stuff I did, and I have all the videos, and I've been like, I got to post videos, I got to keep everyone up to date, and I haven't been able to. And the thing is it has to do with work, and I know that there's no excuse, yada, yada, yada. You got to put training ahead of everything. You got to take care of your health. You got to do all this stuff. I get it. But I'm at a stage where it's like too young to retire, being 60, 61. Yet at the other side of it, not, ready to retire. But I am getting somewhat tired. Like the business I have, it's a small business intentionally. I've had a bigger business with all sorts of support and all that sort of stuff. And when you had that, I was able to do 16, 20 hours of training a week for 3 or 4 years, and life went on and life was good, even though, you're running the business, you have support. Well, with the business I have, it's a small business. There's like six, seven of us, maybe less. And it's one of those things that I came to realize that, yeah, it does good. I make a few bucks, I can do whatever. But the problem is, I'm doing everything. I take care of the accounting, the payments, the receivables, the sales side of it, dealing with some of the operation stuff, which I've taken on more responsibility. And so I was sitting there going, how do I get out of this vicious circle, right? And the way I do it is I've got to grow out of it business wise. We're in that $1 million to $3 million range. We're not at three, we're, in the middle around there. And to start building infrastructure and hiring people and all that stuff and maintain profitability, you need to get to 3 million, or at least that's what I've heard. And I've experienced it myself. So it's like, okay, man, over this last month, I've come to the realization that if you want to free yourself up, you want to do more training, you want to do all this stuff, you've got to put infrastructure in place so you can do that. The issue is you need more sales. So I figured out, what I need to do because I've done it before, but it's a tremendous amount of work. And I think that it'll probably take me maybe a year if I go hard, maybe 8 or 9 months. But I'm talking, your standard 10, 12-hour days, which I've been doing a lot of those. Anyway, it's been interesting in that I haven't been training as much. So I can feel myself atrophying. And the way you can tell if you're atrophying is it's kind of the same feeling as when you're growing and you're, getting in shape. When you're getting in shape and you're growing, your muscles will twitch and everything will feel, you're feeling a little bit sore, but the twitching of the muscles. And when you start getting out of shape, the same thing sort of happens. You get the twitching of the muscles. The thing is, when you're working out, they're twitching and getting bigger. And when you're not working out, they're twitching and getting smaller. So this weekend, right now I'm recording this at Sunday. On Saturday, I figured I have to get out for a bike ride. If I like my legs, all the effort that I put in like 12 weeks has been going downhill because of these last 4 weeks, and I could blame it with work, which is true. Like, I do not leave the house typically from Monday till Friday. No word of a lie. If you look at my steps, I mean, it's steps from here to the bathroom to here. I don't even leave the frickin' house, man. And, you know, so you're doing that, your muscles aren't there, then you get in weather. Like, I'm a warm weather guy. I want warm weather. And hence why I like California. So the hotter the better. Like, if it's 30 degrees Celsius in the morning at 6 o'clock, that motivates me to go for a run. Especially here, it's a little bit humid. And I always say, like, hot and humid makes like the world is giving you a big hug, man. And so you don't have the weather, you've got the work. And I now, I'm really focused. I know the two things I have to do. And then I decided to, like, next year, book 3 months down to LA in San Pedro. Got this awesome place, looks over the water, great view. You can see Catalina Island, you can see Long Island Harbor, and I'm like, this is what I'm looking for. And then today, just by chance, I was looking, okay, I need a goal. And it was like, they have that LA Marathon, March 7th. I looked at the prices, like 200 and something dollars to sign up for a marathon. But I think I'm going to do it. Al thought I was nuts. And I said to her, it's not the marathon you're signing up for. It's actually the motivation to train because you're going to do a marathon. You have no choice. And then I got home, I had a shower. It's Mother's Day. I'm nice and fresh right now. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to sign up for a triathlon. And not, I'm more of like, I'm not doing an Ironman, but a half Ironman to me is like, yeah, that's a good size race. It gives you a bit of a challenge. Um, I don't like to swim, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, that's another story. So I'm thinking, well, maybe I should do that to kind of have a goal, right? I need a goal. And then I'm also looking, man, the goal is going to be maybe I want to move to California. I want to move there. I love it. There's something about that energy. And yes, I know people say house pricing is expensive, taxes are nuts. Well, guess what? I come from Canada, so I was looking at the taxes. They're basically the same for taxes. And so I'm like, I've always said, like, man, you're 60, going to be 61. If you move there, you got to go on an L1 visa because I would open up a business there. I'd take our branch office, whatever. And then you're on an L1 visa, which I've been on before for other businesses. And then it takes 2 to 3 years. You have to apply for a green card. So by the time you get it, if they fast track it, it's probably 3 years, maybe 4. Maybe you're lucky if it's 2, but it's in that 3 to 4. So at that point, I'm 64, 65. In order to get Medicare or Medicare, is that you have to work at least 5 years in the US. And then if you work 5 years, you can get it, but you have to pay $500 a month. But if you work a full 10 years, and I guess you contribute taxes, all that stuff, then you get full Medicare coverage. The US is interesting. A lot of people don't realize this. They'll go, there's no health care, but if you're really poor, the US takes care of you with health care. And when you retire at 65, the US takes care of you with health care. It's that in-between stuff that they don't take care of you. But to take care of you, totally, you need 10 years. So when I do the reverse math and I say, okay, I'm 61, by time, even if I got my citizenship, it'd be like let's say it's 64, 63. Then I got to work 5 years. So now I'm 68. But if I want to get full coverage, I got to work till I'm 73. Life cycle of most people is like 78. So it's like 5 years. And then I start thinking, well, do I move there? Do I get citizenship? Or do I just go there for 4 or 5 months a year? And, probably the responsible thing, just go 4 or 5 months a year. Then you've got your Canadian health care. You can come back, you can do whatever. But then at the other side of it, I'm like, hey, man, shit or get off the pot. Are you going to do it or aren't you going to do it? So anyway, it's been, whatever, 4 weeks. I'm like, I'm going to post this video and maybe I'll post the other ones because they were some good videos. But I'll tell you what, I'm struggling, man. The one thing I wanted to mention and why I actually rode my bike yesterday and I'm kind of getting back into it. And this is from the bottom of my heart, what I felt is as I was working out and training and doing all that stuff, I felt younger. I felt alive. Just, felt, good, I was, especially in LA, I was walking great, I guess, because you're maybe not lying down. It was just, movement, man. I felt really good. And then when I got back, I found that I wasn't working out. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh man, my legs are atrophying, but I'm also starting to feel old. And it was like, whoa, what the heck is happening here? It was like not that long ago, I was feeling like I was in tremendous shape. And now I'm like feeling like my heart rate is going out. Like there was points there where I was like, man, am I gonna make it to at the end of the year? Like there was a couple of times like I know it sounds really crazy because it happened so quick, like in a 4 week period. So anyway, I've got two things. A, I've got to build this business to get it to 3 million plus so I can hire help, which is basically, going to double the sales. And I'm at the age of 60, going to be 61 this year. And I'll tell you what, when I was younger, man, I grew businesses like you couldn't believe. It was just a man on fire. Now, when you're 60 years old, your motivations are a little bit different. Your energy is a little bit different. You look at mortality, which you never had to worry about before. And then I look at so much. I've been like living in regret. Like, man, if I would have done this at this age, if I would have went to California at this age, if I would have done this, if I didn't do this, my head is just full of all these what ifs and regrets and everything else. And then that just gets me to that stage is like, you know what? People will change their lives huge within a 5 year window. Like there'll be people today that'll start something, build something, and in 5 years, it's incredible. So I'm thinking of that. And then I also think, well, okay, we may have a few good years, and then how's AI going to, affect this? So I've got, it's interesting. At my age, I guess, there were certain things I did that ate away, a situation where I probably wouldn't have to work right now or and I took some risks and challenges and all that stuff, which kind of make me force where I'm at now. So it's not like I can just stop. I guess I could technically, but what are you gonna do? You gotta do something. You may have another 20 years. And when I say I could do something, it would be like, yeah, I could sell my house. I could, go to an apartment. I could, scrounge for I don't want to do that, or at least that would be a last choice. Maybe go to Thailand, although I couldn't go to Thailand because Alice would never do that. But that's not the point. I know I'm starting to go off on a frickin' tangent here. The point is, it's been a rough month. I got to get my shit together. I got to get my head together. I've got to realize that there's only, two things there's three things, but there's two things within my job that I need to do that'll get me to the promised land where at least I can put in the infrastructure and stuff. And then the other thing is I've got to work out. If I don't, psychologically, mentally, physically, it's been just such a wake-up call. And I got to do it in the mornings, and I know it. And I wake up early in the mornings. I'm usually up like 6 o'clock so I said I watch YouTube videos for 2 hours, 2.5. I start at 9 o'clock, so I'll jump in a shower at 8:30, but I'll be up since 6. And yeah, I could argue, yeah, it's good YouTube. There's a lot of stuff with AI and all that, but there's also a lot of just brain candy, the stuff that gets the, I don't know, not the adrenaline going, but the stuff that doesn't count. Anyway, I know I'm rambling right now. I just wanted to post a video so you know where I'm at, that I haven't given up. And there's so many good videos that I recorded, but you know what? I just got so much going on that with work and stuff that it's like, man, it's not like me. I want to post, I want to do stuff, but yeah. So anyway, I think I'm going to sign up for the marathon. I know if I sign up for a half Ironman, I'm going to regret it about, the day after I sign up. But I need to do that. And I really need to really figure this out in terms of freeing up my time. That's the challenge. And the only way I free my time up, I got to grow my way out of my problems. I got to grow my business out of my problems, and I got to grow my health out of my problems.